Hey guys, what's up? This is Chris Gonda from PureGrainAudio.com. We're here downtown at the Cool House in Toronto. I'm with Marten from Meshuggah. He's a rhythm guitarist, and we're just going to ask a little bit of questions about the tour that they're on now, which happens to be Ministry's last tour ever, the See You Late tour. Now this kicked off March, I believe, 26th.
Yeah.
That was the
something like that, Spokane.
The leg of the North American tour. You got about 5-6 days left. What's the feeling like backstage? Is it like somber, sad? How is everyone holding up?
Actually, it's doing really good. I mean, you know, whenever every tour is different, but this has been like, you know, we flew in here and then we had a couple of long drives in the beginning of the tour that kind of, you know, took like a week for the tour to really get into the you know the gears and actually start grinding. So, but from then on, it's been all good. And actually, to be honest, I mean, the last week it's been just becoming more and more relaxed. This tour, better and better. Everybody's having more and more fun. It's just like.
So no one's upset that this is like the last time Ministry's going to be touring North America?
I think some people might be, you know. But I mean, for us, it's just one of those things where, you know, we got an email from like early this year and like, you know, or last year, and it's like, well, you guys want to come on this tour? And we're like, well, it looks like a fucking killer tour because first of all, it's their last, and it's going to be like legendary in that respect. But then it's going to, like, it was perfect timing for our album. It was a perfect length. You know, everything just fell into place. So it's kind of an honor for us to be like included in this, because it really like it was like Al wanted us, so that feels gratifying.
That's cool. So you said that it took about a week to get started. That said, there were about 3 Canadian dates that kind of got screwed up at the beginning.
Well, actually 2. Well, yeah, 2. Calgary was fucked up because we got stuck at the border having problems with paperwork for a long time, and the drive from Spokane through like border crossing up to Calgary made it so that Ministry were able to get there and put up their shit, but there was no way we would have made it. So we actually drove up to Calgary and stayed there, but didn't play. And then we went over to Vancouver, and since Ministry shows had been like pushed back because of all the hassle, they were actually not able to leave Calgary in time to get there in time for the Vancouver show. So Hemlock ended up not playing the first Vancouver show, and we played 3 songs. Like just up and play 3 songs and off. But apart from those 2 things, those incidents or whatever you want to call it, it's been all good.
Hey, as long as it's smooth now, right?
Yeah. It's like, you know, well, the tour always takes time to settle. It's 3 bands, 3 different crews. You know, everything's kind of merged together, and you know, you got to realize what the rules are and everything. It's a sweet tour.
Have you actually toured or played with Ministry before? Or is this your first time?
This is first time.
So what kind of a feeling is that, being able to play with them, like the band playing with them just before these guys go out of the game? These Ministry, they've been around forever.
Yeah, they've been around forever, but I mean, so have we. But I mean, it's just one of those things where you know that Ministry was a band that started a thing on their own that was actually their kind of trademark that a lot of people turned into copying and like all that stuff. So like late 80s and early 90s, I was really into that, and like it was something that you know I never heard before. So. You know, as you know, respect to that, they're great every night, and we're having a great communication. So like we're checking each other out every night, and you know, like having fun. So this is, you know, this is just a sweet ride, basically.
Cool. All right, let's talk Meshuggah music. obZen, the newest album came out, I believe it was March 11th in North America. It's been a really short time, but I mean, I've seen a lot of the press. It's all very positive. Can you give us more of an idea of what you see? Well,
well, you know, whenever you try to like make an album, it's like all about, okay, let's try to make a cool album that we like, and then you like when you're finished with it and you try to look back on it a little bit, it's like I actually don't have a single clue as to how people will react. So I mean, we're of course happy when it went really well. I mean, all the reviews and the sales have been really awesome. So we've been like, okay, didn't really see it going that good, but all right, cool, you know.
It's your 6th studio full length, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Probably, I don't know. Yeah.
Good. Nice.
Something like that.
Good. All right. That said, I know that the last album was a lot different than what you did with this one. 2 questions, I guess, that tie it together. One is, how do you personally feel about this one compared to previous Meshuggah work, number 1? And number 2 is, why did you guys change back to your kind of previous style as opposed to the math metal stuff that was on the last album?
Well, you know, like the whole thing we've been doing has always been about doing like what feels natural to us. A lot of people seem to think that Meshuggah is all about sitting down and figuring out how weird things are going to be. That never happens. You know, we just write whatever comes into our minds. And the last album, Catch 33, was kind of sort of, in our minds, it was sound landscape, sort of a like nightmare soundtrack or something, which ran. Like, we wanted to like explore that thing because we wanted to do it for a long time. So being able to do that made it feel so much more natural to go back to actually just regular songs, a little bit more of a live approach, and then try to like bring up stuff that we like about our past, but want to maybe freshen up and do it in a new way. So we kind of threw that into the mix. So that made it be a very diverse record if you compare it to the last couple of albums, which have kind of been going down the road in one way the whole time. This is more dynamic.
Yeah, definitely. And how you feel about it compared to previous work? Everyone says, "Oh, this is our best album ever."
Well,
what's the honesty?
Actually, I think it yes and no. I mean, we have our albums are kind of different.
Yeah.
So comparing this to Catch 33 wouldn't be fair to either of those albums, because in reality, it's like Catch 33 is an experiment in how do you actually put together a song for 47 minutes and try to make it make sense as far as in a way as almost as classical music. You have like themes coming in and out of the song all the time, reintroduced in a different manner, all that thing. This is like, okay, here we got a song for 5 minutes, and it's more live oriented, and especially I think this is more, to be honest, this is a more aggressive album than in a while.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's one of the reasons people are getting into it.
I love it. It's fast, it's hard, it's chaotic, it's good.
Awesome, man. Thanks.
No worries, thank you. It's something good to listen to.
Yeah.
That said, obZen, the title of the album, I read that it's basically, the theme behind it is like mankind they found their Zen with the obscene. Right now.
Sort of like we're trying to show ourselves off as the pride and joy of the earth, and we're like God's creation, and everything else is subordinate to us and whatever. Whilst in reality, we're the only species actually acting really fucked up.
Yeah.
We're taking pride in our intelligence, but that's also what fucks it. I mean, if we were so that intelligent, it wouldn't look like this.
No, that's totally true.
I mean, Toronto's nice, but you know what I'm saying.
It's
society.
Organic, right?
Yeah. And I mean, the whole society itself is just like, it's built out of an industrial boom that came, and it's still not really recovering, and people don't know where to get money and new businesses from, and people are trying to take advantage of that. So it's like one of those things where you see greed, you see war, you see everything that's wrong, that people are like, our leaders are saying, oh, this is fucked up, we really need to do something about this, but I'm doing this shit over here that you don't need to know of, so it's like one of those things where it's the paradoxical nature of humanity is like, we're so great as a species and we're so fucking lousy as a species at the same time.
The irony is we're so obsessed with the here and now that we in of ourselves don't realize this is a fucking phase.
It is,
a couple hundred years from now, this is going to be totally like, people are going to look back on this industrial revolution.
Yeah, what the fuck was up with that? Man? It was stupid, but all right,
Fair enough. I totally dig that. So what is your obZen? How do you find Zen in this crazy world? And don't tell me the music, because I know that's your first answer.
No, it's not. It's being at home with my fucking girlfriend, man. That's where of course I write music at home. I live my music at home as well, but I live, I moved back up north. I left Stockholm. I'm the only one who actually don't live in Stockholm anymore. So I moved in. I'm up like around 8 hours drive north of Stockholm. Okay. So I moved into nowhere. Like I got a big fucking house like in the middle of nowhere with streams and mountains and shit. Yeah. So we just like hang out up there. All this.
Have you ever tried like recording or playing in those?
Not playing, but recorded. We've been actually thinking. Me and Freddie were talking about. We got the stables, like on the side of the house, and it's got this attic that is like old, just old wood pillars and everything, and like real hard, thick wooden floors. So we were thinking about trying to record some drums there sometime.
That'd be cool.
See how it sounds.
That would be very cool. Well,
we'll see.
The whole goes back to the whole keeping organic, keeping away from the industrial thing.
Yeah. But I mean, we're always working on computers. We're very like that, into utilizing tools that makes it easier for us, but not just for the sake of it.
Fair enough. A couple more and we'll be out of here.
All right.
You have about 5 or 6 more days on the See You Later tour. It's going to be over pretty damn soon.
Yeah.
Maybe in a week's time or so. And then it seems like you guys have about a month off before European dates pick up.
Yeah.
What are your plans?
Well, as far as I know right now, this is like, rudimentary, preliminary thing, but We do this, like we said, we're off for like 4 weeks. Then we do the whole festival summer thing on our own. Basically, we're doing some shows with the Dillinger Escape Plan. We're doing some festivals and some headline club shows, like all the way through the summer, and that finishes off in Bergen in Norway, I think August 29th. And then we have just a couple of days off before we go on a 3.5 week European tour, maybe 4 weeks actually.
So you don't actually have a month off?
No, not really. And then we're going to be home for like 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks, and then we're going to hit in October. We're going to hit Japan, Australia, and New Zealand.
All right. Well, you answered my last question because I was going to say what else is going on for the rest of the summer. Final thoughts. Just let's wrap it up. Wrap up the See You Late tour.
This has been a fucking amazing tour, and I hope the last 6 shows are going to be just as fun. We're really looking forward to Cool House tonight.
All right.
I know that all of us are, because we know it's sold out. We know it's a great place. So,
dude, I'll be drunk and rocking out.
Hey man, Toronto. I don't know about Ministry, but we always love playing Toronto. So I hope it's going to be good.
All right. Well, we'll make it good.
Yeah.
Guys, thanks so much for checking us out. This is Meshuggah on the See You Late tour. 5 days left. If you haven't seen this actual tour yet, well, too fucking bad because it's almost over. obZen, it's the new album. Check it out. It is dark, it is heavy, it is metal.
Awesome.
Thanks, dude.